When doing this research, we found that the AM2 is very easy to use. Basically, what we're actually looking for is the interaction between the reagent and the surface of the minerals and the metals that we are studying. We're looking to see how the hydroxamate bonds to the copper and how the structure of the product influences its use as a flotation reagent. The process which we use are very sophisticated instrumental techniques, but we're actually looking at the bonding of the AM2 with the mineral surfaces. This translates to looking at how various minerals float in practice and how the bonding can be broken or processed as the reagent processes are going on. Generally, we find that the AM2 bonds irreversibly to cupric species and bonds to a lesser extent with other transition metals such as iron, cobalt, zinc, manganese as the process goes on, and we try to look at how selective we can make the process by changing the experimental conditions. Chrysocolla is essentially a silicate of copper, and it seems that in practice every person who has a silicate of copper, any silicate of copper, calls it chrysocolla. This is a bit unfortunate because the flotation properties of chrysocolla depend critically upon the way in which the silicate bonds to the copper and the role of other trace elements in there, particularly iron, on the process. So in our research we have selected a very pure copper silicate from Clifton in Arizona, and in this we've been able to get 97% recovery and grades close to the 24.7% grade of the pure chrysocolla that we started with. The extent of processing is important as well, and short process times with limited abrasion from the gangue minerals are important in getting good yields. Dioptase is a different beast. Chrysocolla is very porous. The copper is easily accessible to the AM2. When we move to dioptase, we have a much less porous material. The copper concentration at the surface is much lower, and dioptase is unlikely to actually float well. Certainly with bastnasite, which is a fluorocarbonate, there's no problems in using AM2 to do the flotation. Hydroxamates have been used successfully in the past for floating bastnasite, and the big aim or the big challenge in this area is to produce selectivity in the processing of the bastnasite to favour the rare earth oxides and discriminate against the radioactive elements, and that's the major challenge in this area of research. The research has been directed by project proposals, mainly copper and in particular copper 2. That is what we've been concentrating on: malachite, azurite, copper 2 oxides, these various minerals, chrysocolla. There is a whole world of research out there which involves not the square planar cupric hydroxamate species, but the octahedral zinc, manganese, iron species, which are equally important. For example, lead is a target mineral which we haven't spent much time on, but there are a large number of lead carbonate ore bodies which require beneficiation, and hydroxamates are an ideal choice there rather than having to go through a Nash sulfidization route.